everyone, to another episode of Spooky Japan Podcast. Today we have two very special guests, Nick and Brie. It looks like Team Brick. Did you guys call yourself? What are you guys doing today?
We're good. We're good.
Good. How are you?
We're doing pretty good. Irene's doing pretty good. Irene had an earthquake last night at 2 a.m. Did you just lay through it again?
Yeah, it woke me up. Like I said, I can't do this, right? I woke up. I'm not holding up no breaking furniture. Forget it. I'm gonna go back to bed.
Yeah, Irene's area in Japan is right on the Ring of Fire, so they're so used to having earthquakes all the time there.
That's crazy. That's just crazy.
And see, it calms down during the summertime. It's just before the summer. When spring is around, it gets hairy. And then there's Amanda's not looking for it. There's another tropical storm that's going to happen, and that changes the season to summer. So we get both.
Wow.
We're pretty used to it though, especially like we've had a typhoon that everyone's like, whatever, just stay inside.
Yeah.
They're probably like that, like how we are with tornadoes standing on the front porch. Like, is it going left or right? Like, they're probably like,
yeah. Like,
they just lean and rock with it.
Oh, it's gonna hit miss. Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're just like, just another day, Especially when Irene's like, it's just another one. Just sleep through this one.
Don't forget your umbrella if there's a typhoon, right? And they go, yeah, okay.
Oh my god.
People are saying, I go, oh no, there's your umbrella. You might need it because there's a typhoon coming. Go, and they go, okay, I'll take my umbrella. My kids go, okay, bye. I go, okay, bye. Like, off they go to school. They don't care. It's just the thing here.
Did you guys meet through the paranormal community, or did you guys know each other before that?
Oh, you want me to tell the story?
You're the stalker.
I'm not a stalker. Oh my god, you're gonna make me look so bad publicly, aren't you? So, no, okay. So, truth be told, it was just a little. Jesus. No, so
she stalked me, then drugged me, and then
I moved my stuff in. It's insane. He somehow still lets me stay in the same bed. Like it works, but no. So I'm still a baby. I'm totally a stalker. She thinks. I'm actually still a baby. I haven't even been involved in the paranormal community for a year.
What?
And somebody actually recommended like different people for me to follow within the community, and so I actually started following him, and then a couple weeks later he sent me a friend request. So like of course I'd be an idiot not to accept it, and we would comment here and there on each other's stuff, and then Jen, you had her husband Sean on a few weeks ago from Bumpin' the Night Society. She actually introduced us at MadCon last year.
Oh, so it's his fault?
Oh, it's Jen's fault.
Oh yes, definitely.
Totally Jen's fault. But she owns it with pride. She calls you. She's like our mom. We call Jen mom, but
yeah, we're both older.
We're both older than her. Yeah,
so we call them mom and dad.
You're right. And so he actually gave me his card and was like, I'd love to have you on the podcast. And I was like, all right. And we were going to be at the same Paracon the following weekend. And I decided to give him a call, and it went to voicemail. And like, you get like that little voice like in the back of your head that's like telling you to do something. Like not the devil on your shoulder, but the other one that's like, hey, you really should do this. Well, it could have been a mixture. I don't know, but I didn't feel the tug of war. Okay. So I went with it. I texted him, and we talked all day until like really late that night. and we made plans to meet up and hang out, and we've been inseparable ever since then, October 6th.
Wow.
I remember this. He doesn't. He just goes, I know it's October. What do you want from me? You know, like, what do you expect? So,
That's the best month to have an anniversary, though.
right? We've got a spooky anniversary.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, I followed you, Brie, on TikTok before I even found you on Facebook.
Oh, wow.
Like, I found you through Nick, because he's one of those people I just kind of follow through the paranormal. Then I found you, and I'm like, oh, wait, I follow her. That's so
Awesome.
crazy.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we're trying to have fun and
Try to.
busy, and
Oh yeah, busy is an understatement.
this week is going to be nuts.
That's how
I'm try-
Irene and I met, is through social media, through Facebook, is, you know, being a paranormal, especially in Japan, and she would comment in some of the groups. She's like, just me in Tokyo here. And I'm like, no, I'm in Japan too. We can talk paranormal. And it just ended up being Spooky
Yep.
Japan podcast.
Oh,
If I
that's
told her I was
awesome.
moving in tomorrow, she'd get that room ready, and we'd be like, cool, we can film a new series of us going places.
In fact, we already have a planned schedule where we're gonna go, so we're good.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so cool how you guys were able to connect like that on socials. It's funny how technology has advanced and how it's like connecting people in life.
I'm glad it's
In the
Sorry.
paranormal, bringing people together in friendships and relationships.
part 2 friendships.
Yeah, because they were saying way back in the day, because they're saying that's why, because we had Ed and Lorraine's grandson on the show, and they said
Right.
that's the reason why they had to go public with their investigations. Not that they wanted to, but back then we didn't have this social media, so it's the only way for them to get the word out about what they do. So if anyone needed help, they at least knew who to contact.
Yeah.
Because back then you didn't really know how to find anyone. You can't go on. You couldn't go on. There was no Facebook.
Right.
Wow. Yeah.
No, I mean it was. Yeah, I definitely back in the day. It was a lot. It was more difficult to push that stuff, and you know, I mean, everybody should be grateful for Ed and Lorraine and Hans Holzer and you know people like that were able to break mainstream and you know bring the paranormal more to light. You know, than obviously after the year 2000. You know, the evolution of the new paranormal.
Yeah, that's the one thing that we're always happy for, is people now. They can go online and find help if they need to,
Right.
which is always good.
Well, yeah, a lot of the stigma is gone now, you know. I mean, I always joke like especially with all the drama that you see. I mean, I don't know what the paranormal's like in other countries, but like from what I'm seeing like here on, you know, social media within the States, it's, you know, it's stupid. But
So funny story. Multiple people asked me. I'm like, they were like, "Oh, you're gonna be on the Spooky Japan podcast? That's cool." I'm like, "They're not from Japan. It's just a podcast name."
and I'm like,
know, you're
no,
like,
they
I was wrong.
are
They're in
from
Japan.
Japan. It's in Japan. And he's like, no, that's just the name. And I'm like, no, it's
He's not the only one to do not think that, though. Like, if some people have asked me, like, "Oh, cool, Spooky Japan podcast. Where in the U.S. are you located?" And I'm like, "We're
Huh?
not.
We're in Japan. Yeah.
We're in Japan."
that's awesome.
Like I used to say, hi from Spooky Japan podcast. They go, where are you located? I go, Japan. Oh, okay. Like, wow.
Yeah, there you go.
And I thought I was the blonde between the two of us. You totally took the crown on that one, babe.
I did. I'll own it. I'll own it.
That's my beer. Give it back.
Baby steps, okay?
Where did your guys' paranormal journey begin for you?
You want me to go first?
Yeah, you can go first.
Oh, let's see here.
Take the mic.
Okay, so
Here, I'll move out of your way. So you
get out of the damn screen for once. Let me get the light. Jesus.
excuse you.
No, I mean, everybody's got a unique story. I guess mine's unique, but not really. Dealing with spirits, ghosts, entities, or whatever you would like to call them.
Mhm.
I've seen them since I was a little kid. Where my dad lived when I was younger. That house was an old funeral home. They had multiple exorcisms of the house. It just never worked, and stuff like that. But so seeing full body apparitions and shadow figures and footsteps and knocks, it was nothing abnormal, to us, and it was a fun topic for our family. You know, we weren't the type of family like don't talk about that stuff. We don't talk about that stuff, and and I grew up Catholic, went to a Catholic school. Grew up and I liked it. We talked about it, we seen it, and then when Ghost Hunters came out, we were like, holy crap! Like, there's people that actually like hunt these things. So we were huge fans, and we watched the shows, and I watched Ghost Adventures and Paranormal State. Paranormal State was actually my favorite show, but really I had no interest of doing any of this stuff. It was just, we'd be at Thanksgiving dinner and the family talking about ghosts and stuff, and it wasn't until about 2016 where I went through some really crazy stuff, and the house just lit up with activity. I was being attacked. We'd hear disembodied screams and voices, and it just escalated pretty bad. And so I had to reach out for help, asked my sister to find somebody, and then, had a shaman come in, and he just blew me away. And the peace he was able to give me was mind blowing, and I wanted to pay it forward. So my sister and I started this team in 2017, and it was just to do residential cases. We did a lot of studying, a lot of research, and we wanted to pay it forward and help families. And we've been pretty successful with it. We've had over 50, what I call successful cases. Now, whatever you want to call a successful case, we're there from start till whenever the family feels comfortable and it's done. So could take a phone call, could take 2 years, who knows. But that's kind of how I got into it, and I've had a lot of amazing opportunities throughout the years. And yeah, so here I am talking to you guys in Japan. This is cool. Your turn, babe.
All right, now move.
Ah, shit. Well, it was good talking to you guys. I'll see you later. Brie will never stop talking.
You're lucky I love you.
Ah.
All right, so see what had happened was, it's gonna be good when you go happen. Yeah. All right. No, I dealt with the paranormal my whole life. I actually saw my first full-bodied operation when I was 6, and my mom helped me walk through it. Experienced a lot of different paranormal activity, even poltergeist, as I was growing up. And the older I got, I know now that I've got abilities. I am a medium. But when I was growing up, like, you get to a certain point, and a lot of people say trauma will either shut you off or will open you up. With the trauma that I sustained as I got older, you go into self-protection mode, and my brain just kind of like built those walls, those barriers up, and I shut off from it. And so, funny story, I went through a divorce last year, and my older 2 boys, they sat me down and they were like, Mom, you need to pursue your passion. You raised us, on all the OG shows, Paranormal State, Haunted Collector, Ghost Hunters, the The one that Nick Groff came from. There we go. I'll say it that way. And you, we like Nick Groff. I'll say Nick Groff's name. Yeah, I'll say his name, but the show he's got to start from. So they were like when go up, you need to pursue your passion. We've always dealt with paranormal activity. I'm saying a lot for some reason, and that's starting to annoy me for one. But now I'm doing So I went to a couple of events and did a event down in North Carolina at the USS North Carolina. And on the way down, I stopped at a rest stop and I heard a little voice telling me, "Hey, like make something out of this." And what was weird is that like it was as if somebody was sitting right next to me in my car and I was completely alone. And they were like, "You need to go have fun with this. You got like a 12-hour drive. What can you make of this?" And so I decided I'm right outside Point Pleasant, West Virginia. Let's go rub a shiny hiney, go see the Mothman. And then I went off to Sweet Springs Sanitarium, did that like as an homage because Project Fear was doing their second episode that Friday, releasing their sleeping arrangements at Sweet Springs. Got down to North Carolina, did the event on the way home. Thanks to my friends at Spooky Appalachia, they pointed me in the direction of St. Albans and then Trans Allegheny. I did not get to go into either of these facilities. They are on my bucket list, but the fact I got to finally you get to see these locations. And after years of watching the shows and seeing them on TV with my children, it was just really eye-opening and exciting. And so like I documented the whole trip. I posted it all over Twitter. Twitter erupted. Are you going to keep doing this? And so I kept doing it. I started highlighting historically haunted locations. And so now what I do is I not only do the highlighting, but I also do investigating. I have my own show, Remotely Paranormal, where I go in solo. I'm given challenges, and it's about 2.5 hours that we do it. Getting ready to do an episode next week at the Wildwood Sanitarium. And I go ahead after the show's done and I spend the night solo in said location and run live on TikTok. And yeah, good times. It's fun. So that's
Yeah.
that's how I got my start. Went through a divorce. So if you want to get your start in the paranormal,
Fun fact, me too.
go through a divorce. Yeah, we both went through divorces. So that's common ground right there. Yeah. How did you guys click? Oh, we went through divorces that brought us into the paranormal. Yeah. All right. I will move and you can have your. I will try to be good. I talked a lot. I mean, I was to the point of being hoarse and coughing. So I will try to be good tonight.
Can I
and
ask?
not talk too much.
Can I ask you a question, both of you?
Yeah.
You have a spirit in your home. It's the little boy's name is Bobby.
I was gonna ask. I was waiting for opportunity to be like, who's the male spirit in there? And I was gonna
Who's
ask Irene.
Bobby?
We've got a couple spirits in here with us, actually. We've got haunted items that are located all around our room.
So Bobby is saying hi. He wouldn't like that.
But there's also another male spirit more attached to Nick, though.
Yeah. You know what? It's not really revealing. It's not that bad. It's almost like a family member. You know that, Amanda? It's almost like a relative, a distant relative.
Yeah, I've heard that multiple times.
You know you're in a paranormal when someone says you you have spirit attached to you, and you're like, probably.
It's not really attachment. It's almost like it's a protector.
Spirit guide.
Yeah, he's not really an
I mean, I
attachment.
feel a spirit guide with Brie, but there's also one more, I guess, more attached to Nick than Brie.
Yeah.
I'm curious, what are you picking up with me? Spirit guide.
I just felt like someone is like a watcher of you with you.
Yeah, it's like almost like an angel. But the one attached to Nick, he's saying, "Where am I?"
I want to say almost like a guardian angel kind of thing. Yeah.
Attached to Nick's saying, "Where's my waffles? Where's my waffles? I want my waffles and syrup. Where's my waffles?" Do
I want
you
waffles too?
do you know that?
He's like, I don't know where is the waffle.
Do you know who it is?
No, I don't. No.
Dang, that I always get that. No, I don't know who it is. And all of a sudden they said, that come to think of it, long time ago I had a grandpa who said, yeah, he liked waffles,
Well, I mean, with the spirit guides, we actually have a lot, and some are more prominent than others, and depending on the time of need in your life at that time. I do have an older male relative that is with me 24/7. I'm not quite sure who it is. Um, there used to be a guy he was a spirit guide. Um, the reason why he was drawn to help me because he was kind of similar to me in the aspect of life in general and stuff like
He
that.
calls himself grandpa. He calls it, I'm grandpa. My name is grandpa. I'm not necessarily, he's not necessarily like your grandfather. He says, I'm grandpa. Everyone calls me grandpa.
Yeah, I don't know. The thing is, we have a good friend of ours. She does holy fire Reiki. She does a lot with sound frequencies. We get a cleansing, quite often, I guess.
Yeah.
You kind of have to.
I mean, we're in
Not gonna lie to you.
locations. Yeah, but
Um,
we're in locations every weekend, sometimes multiple locations a weekend.
Mhm.
And I mean, it's kind of par for the course. You got to go and get dry cleaned every once in a while.
Yeah.
So.
I'm going to get dry cleaned in June at the end of the month. I need to.
Yeah,
I'm
going to be a temple.
mentally too, I get, my whole house is like portal, and portal right here. And they'll come in and say hi. And I go, oh yeah, okay, hi, bye. Yeah, I don't need you. Like, that's what I do every day. Like, yeah.
That's like our house.
yeah, I mean, we're used to it. I mean, back in the day, I would have my house cleared, and then I understood and was able to do it. I would clear the house, but to the point where it's like it didn't matter where the house is located is kind of a supernatural highway.
Mhm.
What we do, they understand what we do, and with Brie being a medium, and then on top of having
Yeah.
legitimate haunted objects,
Mhm.
with their energy on it,
Mhm.
there it doesn't shock us. I mean, it's no big deal. It's like, it's fine as long as they leave us alone while we go to bed, type of thing.
There's nights where we'll be laying in bed and I'll be moving my head around and he's like, are they in here? And I'll be like, no, I'm readjusting, But for the most part, he has to ask that because I'll be like, I'll actually start picking my head up and be like, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'll have to be telling him if you want to talk to me, go to the office and I'll talk to you when I get my coffee in the morning.
Yeah.
Don't be a perv. It's our time.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I get mine in the bathtub when I'm taking a bath, right? I go,
Yeah, I'm tired of spirits looking at my butt all the time.
What makes you think they're looking at your butt? Maybe they're looking at mine.
I'm pretty sure it's me.
Baby, I mean, I'm the one right here.
Anyways, next question.
I win. Amanda's like, we just asked these people on.
Yeah, you guys screwed up when you asked us to come on. You made a huge mistake.
If you actually look at when I just shared this out, I even put you never know what we're going. You honestly never know what Nick and I.
You know what? This is what our podcast is all about.
Yeah.
Like, we talk about everything, and it goes sideways really quickly.
It can, yeah.
That's like what I do.
And I'm sitting there laughing my guts out because I can't even sit straight. I can't even talk properly. I'm like, okay, I'm done.
We've had people ask ahead of time. They're like, "Well, what exactly are we all going to be talking about?" And I'm like, "Whatever the hell comes up." I'm like, I don't even know. We don't know until we start.
That's the best way to do it. It's a natural
Yeah.
conversation, you know. We
And
we try
we
to do that on
we
our podcast as well.
boring podcast. Like, see, we promised each other we'll never do a stupid and boring podcast like everyone else. I was like, nah, I'm not doing that. And I told him, I'm not doing that either. I said, I hate those. I can go. Like, I said, they're done. Okay, goodbye. You know, like, oh, it's like, yeah, not into that one. Like,
Is she like your long lost like cousin or sister? Because
Wait, what?
you guys just, I'm telling you, I think you guys are related somehow. You guys act the same.
I'm so confused.
maybe we knew each other a long time ago, right?
Well, I mean, were you ever a prostitute in a past life? No.
She's like, how'd you know?
When did that come? Whoops, wrong subject. Okay, I don't think so.
Irene, we all know you were mafia in a previous life, so
Yeah.
yeah.
I got those guys under my thumb.
I can't.
You see, you gotta laugh because my husband does the laundry. He does the vacuuming, and he prunes the trees.
Well, all right. She ain't lying though.
About what?
The prostitute part.
Oh, I was a high-end prostitute in my last life.
Oh, cool.
He actually married me and saved me from it.
I hope you got good money for it.
Yeah, that was quite an interesting
Did he
experience.
pretty woman you?
Right?
Yeah. Took her on my Lamborghini horse.
Yeah, he was my Confederate soldier that came in and saved me from a man who wanted to kill me, and because I refused to tickle the pickle, and yeah.
Never remind me never to drink coffee when we're talking about.
So yeah, like it's but what's great is I end up being a fabulous trigger object whenever we go into brothels.
Oh,
Yeah. You take me to a brothel and they'll tell you I'm a $10 whore real quick.
We confirmed this on an investigation. So hear me out. So we're investigating. It's me, Brie, her best friend Carrie she's from Iowa, and then I take one of my best friends that had just moved back. We go to this place that we frequent. A good friend of mine runs it, and the second floor is a brothel.
mm-hmm.
So I'm asking questions, and I'm like, "Would you pay $20 for Brie?" And it says no.
We're using the Epic that's got the voice, so it not only lights up, red for no, green for yes. It actually it says yes and no as well.
So we get all the way down. I say, "How about $10?" It finally says yes. I'm like, okay. So then Carrie's like, well, am I worth $20? And the thing goes, no. And it goes all the way down. And I blurted out, I said, "What about $1.99?" And it goes, yes. So
Your worth is $1.99. You gotta be crazy, right?
this is her nickname from that. I mean,
That's now her nickname, $1.99.
She was so upset all night because she couldn't understand. She's a pretty woman. She was like, "I don't understand why it'd only be $1.99. About 5 hours in investigation, I said, "Carrie, you're a police officer. Of course they don't like you." She's like, "Oh, it makes sense now. Oh, yeah."
Oh yeah. But I mean, like, we're laying in the bed. We've got like 20 spread all over us with trip lights, and I'm getting all kinds of action. Like, my cat balls that are on my boobs are getting like knocked off. True story. I got video of it. It's just like the balls are like flying at her, and you can actually hear them hit her hand at one point. And she's like, "Ow!" And she's like, well, can I at least can I be like $2? And we actually caught a disembodied voice going, no. That's probably one of my most favorite pieces of evidence that we've got recently.
So welcome to
Paranormal After Dark.
yeah, Team Brick.
Irene.
I think we broke Irene.
Wait, did she have anything in her mouth? No, not this time. Okay, the last time I caught her when she took a big gulp of coffee. I felt kind of
really
bad. I was like, oh my
choked
God, I hope she can swallow.
It went back into my cup again. I said, okay, this is not good.
I am not able to drink with them on the air right now.
I'm gonna be doing it all
Oh
right.
my God, that's good.
Um,
Fun times.
You ready to boot us off yet, Amanda?
It was always a joke for me growing up that my family was in the mafia, just because my family, part of them immigrated from Italy to New York, so they were New York Italian. And they come visit us in small town Michigan. So people in small town Michigan, anytime they come visit us and see them with the New York Italian, the accent and the way they talked and everything, they were just like, everyone automatically jump to, oh my God, he's mafia. And people would be, and anytime people would be like, I don't care if this pisses you off, just don't send your Uncle Tony, your cousin Vinny. And I'm like, what are you talking about? My friend was shaking her head. She's like, I'll tell you later. And then she tells me, she's like, yeah, people saw your family and they assumed they were mafia. And I'm just going to tell you, just go with it, because you denying it, people assume that you're denying it to keep them safe. Like, no, don't talk about them anymore.
Right.
I'm like, okay. Like, yeah, that's just go with it.
I was heard that I was in a princess. I was in a castle in Japan, and I was one of the princes in Japan, and I wore a beautiful kimono, and that's what my past life was.
Oh
For some
wow.
odd reason, I thought you said Princess Elsa, and I was just like, no, you weren't. You're making stuff up. You were not these. You were not the Snow Queen.
Not Elsa. No, that's too cold.
Listen, Ice Queen.
I'm not that cold. Okay, you want to know what Ice Queen is? You should see my daughter. She's an Ice Queen. She's Aries, and she'll beat the out of every guy that she met. She's scary.
Scary.
Yeah,
You watch
my-
way too much Disney if you think you're Elsa.
Even my husband's just afraid of his daughter. Like, she'll turn around and beat him, but it's okay. That's nothing new. She's done
Sounds
it
like
before.
Ellie.
Right.
Ellie does that to you all the time. But you're not scared of her, so that's the only difference.
Yeah. My daughter does gymnastics and badminton, so she's got really strong legs and arms, and when she hits, it hurts. She's a sports person, but she's really short. She's really short, but she's got one powerful boy. I don't even know if she can get married later on. You know, I pity her husband. Oh, well, that's Japan for you, right? Women are
Nick,
women.
didn't you just have a kid that graduated?
Yeah, my daughter just graduated. That's
I
her.
think Nick has a child.
Yeah, I have twin boys. They graduate Friday. This Friday.
Mine
Is that
Is-
tomorrow?
Tomorrow's Thursday.
Oh God, I'm so screwed up.
Then it's Friday.
Okay, thank you.
But my
Today's-
daughter, she's my oldest. She graduated college last year, so
that's cool. What is she going into?
well, she went for HR and business, and now she's an a manager at a bigger retail store, and she's moving up through that. So she's a hell of a salesman. So
Oh,
she
that's
likes
cool.
to do it.
She's killing it though.
My daughter's into fashion. She's
Fashion.
she's working in a big, huge store in Tokyo. She leaves the house about this time, and she comes home at about 11 o'clock at night. She doesn't get home till late.
L&M are out of Kansas.
Oh, cool. Hi.
Ross House is in Ohio.
Yep.
Yep.
And I didn't forget to get a hold of you, just so you know. Just haven't had a chance.
She's going to call you after the podcast.
Yeah, I haven't. I
Safe.
just haven't had a chance to give you a call. Just so you know, I promise I am gonna call you.
Okay.
So, sorry. Oh, kitty.
Kitty.
Well, I want to go get our kitty now.
Is that the old one?
Huh? No, this
No,
is
that's the baby.
my daughter's.
It's a little baby. It's a kitty.
That's hers. What would your most interesting place that you went to that was full of both frightening, like wow, and everything else on top of it?
Most interesting or most frightening?
Both.
No.
Both.
I'll let you go first.
Okay, so there's a place here in Fort Wayne, Indiana, where we're located, and the place is called the Bell Mansion.
Mhm.
I helped create it, run it for about 2 years until we split. That is the most interesting place, the most unique place, the best experiences haunted. I mean, obviously, I was daily there for 3 years. Um, but my most fearful one actually probably just happened. What last November.
Yeah.
So we spent a weekend with Jen and Sean at Bump of the Night Society down at the Bel Air House in Bel Air, Ohio, which is
Mhm.
literally 3 blocks away from the Ross House.
Mhm.
So we stayed there all weekend with them for Thanksgiving. Had like a friends Thanksgiving thing, and then we left there and we drove to Ohio State Reformatory in Mansfield, Ohio, to investigate with a bunch of people around the country.
Mhm.
And I wasn't very well protected. I was very tired. Some other things were going on in the building, and we were in the West Block, third tier. Now Brie is all the way down at the other end, and I'm at the beginning. So I start walking towards her, and about halfway down, I felt kind of weird. So I took a break. I'm TikTok live. She's TikTok live. Um, I leaned up against one of the windows, and I had a backpack on full of gear,
Mhm.
and something grabbed the backpack and pulled me through the window. So I kind of jumped around and said, "Hey, you know, not cool. Don't do that."
Mhm.
And all of a sudden, it felt like I was being punched. And I'm like,
Wow.
I could feel it, and so I'm halfway down this cell block. So I started walking back to where I began, and the whole
Mhm.
time it felt like I was being jumped by like 5 spirits. I could literally feel the punches. It felt like I was being shanked or stabbed to
Mhm.
the point where at some point I almost like collapsed.
You like hit the railing and your one knee went down.
Mm.
So that was pretty a frightening experience. Definitely lesson learned. You know, I've had some very unique things happen on residential cases. You
Mhm.
know, um, you have spirits in these people's houses that don't, they're there antagonizing families.
Yeah.
Well, it's not like the spirits you encounter at normal locations where you have teams that come in all the dang time.
Mhm.
But I've had some stuff happen there. But other than that, I'm pretty cool, calm, and collected. I don't really
Yeah.
get too excited. I don't get too nervous or jumpy. But I would say that my most interesting, definitely most fearful, literally last November. So
My go.
okay,
My turn.
That's
My
fine.
turn. I get to chit chat. All right. Um, okay, I'll go with most fearful. Most fearful and most interesting, I believe I can say are same place, two different occasions. So the most fearful, last fall I went on a 3-week tour on the East Coast, and to kick it off, I started off at the haunted Hinsdale house, which is well known for what happened to the Dandy family in the 1970s with a failed exorcism, not on somebody there, but an exorcism that was performed on the actual house itself that failed. I believe it's actually documented by the Catholic Church as
Yeah,
documented
yeah.
or as a failed exorcism. So I went and I was meeting up with a group of people that had invited me out, and there was 3 people in that team, and then there was 2 other people that had been invited, and it was 2 ladies that had come down from Canada, and everybody goes and divvies up their rooms, and me wanting to improve myself as an investigator, I figured the best way to do it is why not sleep in Mary's room. Nobody wanted to touch Mary's room with a 10-foot pole, and they're making the joking comments, paranormal lockdown with Nick Groff when he got attacked sleeping in there, and I'm like, well, let's do this. Put my stuff in, and I'm gonna sleep here. So first night passes, not an issue. That bed is so comfortable. And like the second night, my friend Jeff Fent shows up. He actually makes the Geo boxes, they're known as Fent boxes. And Dan actually shows up too to investigate with us for a little bit. And I actually asked Dan at one point, I'm like, have you slept in Mary's bed yet? Like, what kind of mattress is that? Because this mattress is like amazing. And he's like, I won't sleep in that room. I'm like, what? And he's like, you'd be surprised a lot of people won't sleep in Mary's room. He's like, you're actually sleeping there? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, okay, we'll see what happens. So that night, we're going to bed. Nick and I are actually texting goodnight to each other and knocking. Now, let me back up because like the 2 girls from Canada, they actually had like air mattress that they set up like in the extension of the living room where it's supposed to have been Beth's room. And Jeff was on a couch. One of the other guys in their team, his name was Jeremy. He was on a couch, and this other guy, Mike, he slept in one of the beds in Mikey's room. And then the married couple that was a part of the team that invited me out, they're sleeping in Clara's bed. Well, they're in Clara's bed, and they are like sawing logs and complete symphony with each other out to the world. And knocking starts coming from Clara's closet, and I'm texting Nick, and I'm like, "Well, it's starting." And there's Brooke. Hey. Um. So I'm like, "All right, I'm gonna, you know, activity starting," and he makes the comment like, "Put your big girl panties on," and I'm like, "I got this." Like, it's not a big deal. But like I'm laying on my left side, so I'm facing the wall that's got like the picture of the girl that's all angelic that's been shown on all the shows. And it's got like the hexagonal, octagonal type shaped table with all the dolls piled on it, like that's right underneath the window. And I've got a blanket and I've got it like curved around my face because we had a lamp that was on the desk. It's one of those old like key turn lamps where it either turns the top on, the bottom on, either both sides are on or it's both off. And we had the bottom part of the lamp on. So I got my blanket pulled around to like block it. And then but on top of that, like the flies are attacking me. And like one thing I had noticed throughout the time that I'd been there, because I got there Friday and it was a Friday, Saturday, Sunday investigation, that when all hell's getting ready to break loose, the flies attack. And these things aren't like your little teeny tiny house flies. These things are like freaking flying grapes. And they like come at you like freaking like Japanese kamikaze pilots. Like, and they like dive bomb, they bounce off you, and it's like you can watch it, like you almost hear it going vroom, like going back up, like it's coming back in, like it's gonna be hitting you again. And so like the flies are hitting me too, and I'm like, this isn't good. Mary's
Yeah.
like, okay. So the knocking in the closet stops, but then I start hearing knocking on the outside of the bedroom windows in Clara's room. And for anybody who has not seen the Hinsdale house, there's no way to access these two windows. There's no trellis, no trees. You can't get to it from the roof. You would literally have to, yeah, the black flies. You would literally have to take a ladder and put it up on, like, against the house to get to these windows.
Mhm.
And so, like, now I'm, like, thinking of, like, all my friends who have been here, and they're, like, talking about, like, there's skinwalkers there, and I'm just like, "Great, I got a skinwalker, like, beating on the window at Hinsdale, I'm gonna die tonight." Like, this is fabulous. But, like, as I'm also listening to it, like, I don't scare easy. Like, I jump scare, but that's completely different than, like, being scared in a haunted location.
Mhm.
I've been in some of the most, horrifically scary, notoriously scary places, and I'd go do solos. Nothing, no skin off my back. Old hospital on College Hill, no big deal. Mid Orange Correctional Facility, no big deal. I mean, I've been touched. I've had my hair played with. It's actually been caught on camera where you can see my hair lifting up. Didn't scare me, didn't phase me. But this fear was like the bone chilling, like you're sick to your stomach, like you can't move. And like my inner voice is like, hey bitch, pick up your phone and start documenting this, you idiot. You're supposed to be an investigator, but I was like, you can't move. And the knocking on the window stops and it starts on the wall that's got the closet on it. And it literally travels down the wall. And then there's another wall like right next to it for like the stairs. And it goes down that wall. It stops. And as soon as it stops, you hear walking on the stairs.
Mhm.
And I'm listening to the sound of the footsteps and I'm like trying to figure out who could be coming upstairs that's downstairs. And I'm like, okay, it's too heavy to be the two females. So definitely not them. It's too light to be the bigger dude that's sleeping in Mikey's room. So this is either going to be Jeremy or Jeff. And I'm
Mhm.
just thinking, please let it be Jeff. Jeff's like a big brother to me. And I'm like, please let it be Jeff. Please let it be Jeff. You hear the footsteps get to the very top and they stop. And it's wooden floor, no carpeting. Like I should have heard it continue to walk, and there's nothing. And I'm just like, this is not good. Like this is going to really suck. Like I already know it's going to suck.
Mhm.
And where I'm looking at the dolls fade to black. No, it's not like a shadow got casted over it. I mean, it's like looking into a black paint can. It's literally like looking into a black abyss. Like it's gone. It's black. And I'm like, well, this is not good. And like the space in between the table and the bed, which is only like maybe a foot in between, I can still see the light reflected from the lamp on the desk. And then that turns black. And like that feeling you get like when somebody has walked up next to you or beside you, even if they're leaning down to like talk to you, like you can feel their presence next to you.
Yeah.
Like I can feel something next to me, and like this deep exhale just breathes out right into like my face. And it's almost a growl, but it's not. It's like this big, deep, like guttural exhale that sounds like it's coming from the pit of hell. It sounds masculine, and it's like long and just like it's deep. Like it's horrible.
Mhm.
And I'm like, "Oh my god," like, and I'm just thinking, like, "Please be human. Please be human. I know
Mhm.
it's not human. Please be human." And I pull the blanket back, and there's nobody there.
Gosh.
I didn't even my feet did not touch the floor, I ain't gonna lie. I jumped from the bed, through the door, into Clara's room. My feet hit the floor, and then the couple sits up in bed. "Oh my god, Brie, are you okay?" And I'm like, "How are you sleeping through this?" Like, it wasn't like the knocks were like, like just little taps. I mean, I'm talking like full-fledged, like somebody is like banging. The knocks are like bangs going down the wall. Like somebody's got a fist and they're hitting the wall with the side of their hand.
Mhm.
And I turn around and I don't even realize it. I've got tears streaming down my face. I'm like shaking like I'm in hypothermic shock from how they described it. And I tell them what happened. I get done telling them what happened, and all of a sudden you start hearing noise in the kitchen. Well, where I'm standing at, I'm able to like look down the stairs, and you can see the nightlight on that's in the kitchen. And they've also got motion sensor lights on the stairs, and the motion sensor light at the bottom, like it flickers on. And they're like, "Oh, somebody's gonna be coming upstairs and checking on us. You did kind of like just jump out of the bed." And I'm like, "But there's nobody in the kitchen." And at that same moment I see that, you hear something in Laura's room, which is right across the hall. You hear something crawl up the wall and then like across it, but it sounds like it's got like talons, like it's got these long, sharp claws, and you can hear it like coming out of the wall and like going back into it. Like, and you can hear it scraping down the wall. And it gets to the end, and I'm literally expecting like the skinwalker antler and skull to like pop around the corner. And I'm just thinking to myself, well, I hope that they can jump out the window because evidently I'm dead. Nothing happens. It took about 10-15 minutes to calm down, and then I was able to like go back and fall asleep in Mary's room. Like for most interesting, but I mean, like I haven't been scared like that since, but that was definitely my most terrifying incident.
Would that be an incubus? Kind of like, almost like an incubus or succubus, kind of like entity in the room.
I don't think it was. We figured out later, actually, like a few weeks ago, what it was, and it actually doesn't derive from Hinsdale. It's something that somebody conjured it
Sent
and
it after us.
yeah. So
Correct.
what I heard when because it came at me at another location, and what I heard was imp. And the person that was with us was like, yeah, this was given carte blanche to do whatever it wants, and we know who did it and we know where it came from. So it's annoying at this point. I had to actually have it removed from me once, but since then, the more that I've gotten stronger with my abilities, like it shows up at locations, and Nick will be like, douchebag, like,
Yeah.
She's missing the most important thing about this story, and she just found this out not too long ago. So she talked about the octagon table with all the little stuffed animals and dolls on it.
oh God, no.
So there's cameras in the Hinsdale
No,
house.
come on. No. Shit.
She did not know this camera was there up until a few weeks ago, and that's where she used the change.
So somebody was in the bathroom. They were taking their time. Hinsdale's only got one bathroom. And somebody was taking their sweet ass time in the bathroom. And I'd been in my pajamas for quite a while, and I wanted to get changed, and I wanted to baby wipe myself down. And the other cameras in the house you can see. And I'm looking around the room, and I'm like, I don't see a camera in here. It never occurred to me that there was a camera possibly hidden in the dolls and the stuffed animal on the table. So yeah, there's video of me wherever with the ghost cam of me giving myself a baby white bath. Tits out, everything. Somebody got a good show that day. Let's put it that way, okay? So yeah, that's terrifying. And
that's the most terrifying.
That's the most terrifying part. Somebody watched me take a baby wipe. Baby wipe. Baby wipe. Dang it. Thank you. I can't speak English. Geesh. Most interesting though, I've had two really interesting experiences that I would like to share though. Like the first one was Hinsdale. I did remotely paranormal. It was one event, 3 nights, 3 locations that I did. So I went to Hinsdale, Niagara Western Block, and then I went to Wildwood Sanitarium. And I got done with remotely paranormal, and I was on TikTok for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, and the activity that I was getting upstairs was getting pretty intense. And so the audience was like, go take a break, go, they know I smoke. They're like, go take, go have your cigarette. And I had heard some stuff earlier, like in between remotely paranormal and starting my TikTok. I'd been on the phone with Nick, and there were like Indian drums. And if there's one thing I know about Hinsdale, it's when you hear the chanting or you hear the drums, like, it's going to be a really good night.
Yeah.
Activity wise. And so like I'd been on the phone with Nick, and like I heard, yeah, exactly. It ain't pretty. It's not pretty. We live off caffeine, and we use a lot of baby wipes, damn it. Okay. Don't judge. But so like I was on the phone with Nick, and I can't remember. Did you hear the drums too when I was talking to you?
I don't recall that. I recall hearing them when we were there together.
Yeah, when we were there, we had gone out for a cigarette, and we had heard them then. But I heard him, and I was like, I'm hearing the Indian drums, and he's like going inside, and I was like, yep. So that was before TikTok. I get on TikTok, and I'm going to take my break, and it's actually full moon. So like I'm living like the paranormal investigators like best
Green.
scenario. It's a full moon. I'm at Hinsdale and by myself, and being a medium on top of it. So I'm getting all kinds of activity.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm out there having a cigarette and I'm looking at the surroundings and it's like I can see everything. It's gorgeous. There's no lights blocking it out from the city. And I'm taking it all in, looking at the barn, sweeping, like looking at the tree line. I'm also paying attention to my surroundings too, because there are reports of different cryptids and whatnot out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking and I'm like, oh, there's the lady in white. And then I'm like, wait, there's the lady in white. She's not supposed to be there. Like, lady in white is supposed to be on the other side of the house where the pond is, not where the field is. So like I'm really like I'm like turning my head and like you could actually see me. I clipped it and then I didn't realize that even with your clips, TikTok will delete them after 30 days. I thought if I clipped it, it would save it. No, I still lost it. But like on the video, you actually see me like turn my head, like I'm trying to get a better view, like figure out like what am I looking at? And as I'm doing this, it turns sideways, but its body is like an upside down, like you. And I'm like, I recognize it from a video I had seen on Paranormal Cotton Camera. And I'm like, there's no freaking way. That's supposed to be like a creepy pasta that made its popularity in 2018.
Mm-hmm.
I remember my son sharing this with me. There's no way this is real. And this thing turns around and starts galloping towards me. I flick my cigarette, run inside, snatch my phone because I've got it like I left my camera running with TikTok on, facing me. So I grab that, go inside, I lock the doors. I even turned the sound alarm on in case something happened. And I'm like sitting there for like an hour and a half trying to figure out what I just saw. But it ended up turning into a great conversation with TikTok on how things can manifest. Like
Yeah.
you've got your positive manifestations, and there's got to be that counterbalance. And that's why we got to be careful with what we're speaking. And if you ever saw the video clip, it's actually made the news. It made a Fox News, and I can't remember. But if you Google rake caught on camera,
Mhm.
you'll see where a couple in Canada are actually stopped, and they're seeing a moose that's feeding on the side of the road. And you see this creature come out of the woods and start stalking them, and that's the same thing that I saw. And what's interesting is that um the host of the podcast I was on with last night, he saw the same thing too, but he's got a picture of it. Where I couldn't get a picture because of the, running the TikTok live, he
Mhm.
actually was able to get one. So like we had a really good conversation about that last night. But energy wise, talking about the imp, I was at Wildwood. Because I did Hinsdale, Paraniagara, Western Block, Wildwood. I went back to Hinsdale and met with two people that I used to work with, and went back to Wildwood with the same two people. And I had been outside, had been on the phone actually with Nick, and I came in and they had a lot of their equipment set up in the doll room on the second floor. And there's a 36-foot tripwire, completely purple. It's set up. There's a REM pod set up, and Wildwood has this doll that is known to go off by itself. It's actually motion activated. It's from Spirit Halloween. It's got a little girl that sits on a rocking horse, and her eyes are hollowed out with a red light inside. And when she gets tripped, the red light turns on. It looks like her eyes are red. She sings a lullaby, then she starts speaking really freaky and creepy, and then she like does like this weird kind of like yell like type deal. And so I get positioned in a chair in the room, and one of the people I was with, they had their dog with them, and the dog started to alert first. Now, right before this happened, this imp that had been conjured and set to do whatever with me, he would come through necrophonic, SB7, spirit boxes, and he always changed his name, but it was always either Ezra or Enzo.
Mhm.
And it's the same entity, just for whatever reason he's got split personality disorder. I don't know.
It's great.
Well, you know what? It fits the bill for who did it. So, he had come through on necrophonic, and the voice that is used had never been. You can always tell with the voice. It's the same voice, and that same voice doesn't say anything unless it's antagonistic towards me, and it announces itself as who it is first. And he came through, and so my best friend Carrie, she's one of my mods on TikTok, and she's like, Brie, can you do me a favor? Can you ask if he's there, if he can manifest? Can he do something? And I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. And I was like, all right, Enzo, if you're here, can you prove it? Can you do something, outlandish, off the wall? Do something to catch my attention. Prove yourself to everybody that's watching right now that you're really here, and it's not just like some fluke thing that's going on with my necrophonic app.
Mhm.
Not even 2-3 minutes later, the dog alerts. The dog goes off like a minute, not even a minute after the dog alerts.
Mhm.
And then it's like you could literally feel it. It was like somebody took a 10-gallon bucket of like energy and dumped it. It was like water, just dumped it from the ceiling straight into the room. And it came down, and every light on that damn tripwire blew out to red. Every light on the 36. And I even showed it on the camera so everybody can see it. If you actually go to my TikTok, it's a pinned video on there.
Mhm.
And then the REM pod temperature gauge starts hitting. And it was like for me, that's probably one of my most interesting things up to that point. I'd never seen a tripwire blow. I didn't know it had blown. The people with me didn't even realize it had blown. We thought the energy was just hovering right on top of it.
Mhm.
Until one of my mods, like 20 minutes later, she's like, Brie, you need to check your batteries. I'm pretty sure they blew the batteries out. They killed your tripwire. And we ended up changing the batteries out, and the lights went right back to purple, no issue. And we actually just had that happen this weekend too.
Yeah, it happened last
Sunday night.
Sunday night,
Yeah, this Sunday night.
and this time a different tripwire.
Yeah,
This was
this
a
one
totally
was
different one.
ours, and it's brand new.
And it blew to orange. So yeah, it was. I mean, it's interesting when they're able to capture energy that quickly.
Disperse it that way. Because wasn't I communicating with a couple of them, and I was asking them to show themselves at that point, or was that?
I don't remember.
But like, it was just interesting because I remember I was talking, and then the other person that was there with us, they had been talking too. But I had been trying to coax these spirits. Like, I was seeing these spirits in the room, and I was like, why don't you come out and say hi? You can walk down. And they'd been doing it all night. And it was like they would walk up and down. They loved the tripwire. They were
Mhm.
making the tripwire hit blue and green, but then it went completely orange, except for on the ends. The two lights on the one end hit green, but
Mhm.
every light after that went straight to orange. And I was like, this is insane. This is only the second time ever I've seen this. And what was cool is it did happen on another TikTok live, so the whole audience got to see it too.
So yeah, those are interesting and scary moments.
Yeah. Well, I hope whoever watched me wipe my ass with the baby wipe enjoyed it, you know? They should have paid extra for that shit.
I got some baby wipes here.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
See, I'm equipped with everything. Move out of.
And we got a kitty.
I've got. See, I told
Ours
you.
are actually trying to rip the door off the hinges right now. They're so mad that they're not allowed in here.
I got everything in my house. Don't worry about it. I got moonshine. I got pickles. I got everything hidden around all over the place in my house. Everyone will have a heyday in my house.
So have you two been able to go on investigations there, like in Japan? Like how is the paranormal viewed in Japan?
Yeah.
Go
We're
ahead.
That
the
is
only
something I'm
two
dying to know.
people. Yeah, we're the only two people in Japan who's open about being into the paranormal. So that's why Irene always felt alone in Tokyo about it, and then all of a sudden one day I'm like, "No, I'm in Nagasaki. Yes, I'm here. Don't worry." And that's when we started talking about paranormal Japan, and then, like I said, it ended up being this. First it started being Bella's spooky tales for me on TikTok. Then we started doing the podcast because we're like, why don't we just educate people on paranormal Japan on a podcast?
Yeah.
And not just paranormal Japan, but I guess life and culture of Japan and talk to other people, learn from them too. So became Spooky Japan podcast.
I
That's
do
awesome.
residentials like through this way through FaceTime. If
Oh
somebody
wow.
I'll do FaceTime and I'll do residentials, and I'll help them clean their house for them. Um, I can find out who's buried where and what area. Like, you got a dead body here, you got a dead body there, you got. Never mind. Anyway, yeah, they're buried there. And they go, oh my God, how do you know? I said, I just know. That's all I said.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyways, I do that too. I went to Nagasaki. It be it was before I could come into what I could see and hear. So I always knew, but I get attacked. Okay, I get I get I get sick and I get beaten up, or I get whacked in the gut, or I get whacked in the head. Like I come out like I was beaten up like from head to toe right afterwards from every spirit that I known, and oh, that's painful. And I come out and go, I need a headache medicine. Or I come out, I need something for my stomach because I always get whacked in the stomach. I go, ooh, this is not good. And I went to Nagasaki. That was okay. I really didn't feel too much there, but I went to Hiroshima. I went to the dome. Man, I went on a bus and they said, I could see you. And they were talking to me. When I was sitting on the public transport, they were saying, I could see you. You could see me. I said, uh oh. I went like this to my husband. I did this. And he goes, they saw you. Mm-hmm. They could see you. Mm-hmm. Did they tell you they could see you? Mm-hmm. And he said, okay, look the other way. I was seeing this throughout the
Oh
whole.
wow.
It was
Well,
it was that strong.
there's a theory that if you're gifted, your aura is brighter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's also why they're attracted to you, and that's also how they find you.
And the first night in the hotel room, I went. My husband booked the hotel room. Lucky him, right? He'd book a haunted hotel, right? First night I went to bed, and this lady came to me. She goes, "Hi." I go, "Who are you?" At 4 a.m. in the morning. I go, "Jeez, I'm tired. I just need some sleep. Please, just leave me alone." And I finally got back to bed again. I finally went back to sleep again, and I told my husband, "This hotel's haunted. You know that?" And he goes, "No, it isn't." I said, "Yes, it is. It's an old hotel. He goes, "It's refurbished." He goes, "Oh, I didn't know that." And I said, "Yeah, right." Anyways, well, she came and she had said hello to me, and she left. And that was good enough. And we went to the site. I had my friend said I talked to my friend before I left to that site. I said, "Do you want to do a podcast with, visiting that site?" He goes, "Yeah, I'd love to." And I said, "Okay, great. We'll do a podcast." I couldn't get into Streamline because it messed up my electronics on my phone, so couldn't do that. So I said, okay, I tried 3 times. I finally got in. We finally started doing the podcast, and it messed it up, so I couldn't get. So I lost. They lost my face. I said, okay, it's just not doing good. Okay, we got to do it again. So I came back out, went back in, came back out. I said, you know what? We're gonna do this again. So it took us 3 hours to do one friggin' podcast.
Oh wow.
Yeah, my husband. There was a fence around the building, right? And the building's in the center. The dome has the roof cut out. It's just nothing there. Everything obliterated. And my husband went up to the fence and he was looking at it. He goes, wow, this is interesting. and all of a sudden these huge ants come out of the tree, starts attacking him, right? Like big fr- critters like this big, right? Talking about your flies, right? The same thing. And ants don't usually climb on a tree. This one did. And the whole swarm came rushing down, and he's the one who's packing all my crystals, right? He got attacked. He said, "I'm gonna sit over there on that bench." And he was trying to do this. They came after and said, "Okay, go and sit on the bench." And I put my cat balls inside the fence. Right, the fence is actually monitored. So I said, "Okay, let's do this very quietly and put my cat balls there." I said, "Okay, now I'm gonna talk to you. Can you please touch my cat balls?" He said, "I don't like your cat balls. Put those away. They're horrible. We don't need those. We'll just talk to you." I said, "Okay, I'll put my cat balls away." Get them and put them in my
I've
bag.
had that before.
Put him. They didn't want anything like that. We said, "We just want to talk to you." Okay, I'll talk to you. And it was really interesting. And even I took the picture from Google to use as this is where I'm going. If you if you blow up the picture on your phone, like just increase it, but you can see all the spirits in the picture. Like the whole picture's haunted, right? And that's a picture that they're using to ask, you should visit. No, you should visit Hiroshima. This place, right? And I said, "You darn, that picture's so haunted, you wouldn't believe it." Right? You can see the trees in the background. They got spirits there in the trees. They got spirits all over in the windows and everywhere.
Oh
And
wow.
yeah, it's just unbelievable. And Japan is one of those places where the professional photographers will take pictures of sights to see in Japan, and they're haunted. They don't know that, right? So
There's
here I
so
am,
much history there.
screaming through
Yeah.
my Google, and I say, "Okay, that's haunted. That's haunted. That's haunted." It's all in my iPad. It's all in my iCloud right now. My phone. I got I got all these haunted pictures, right? You don't have to go far to see anything haunted, right? It's just like the reason why I don't go out is that I don't go out without alone. I can go with my husband, but you see, uh, I'd have to take care of him, but he don't know how to take care of me, right? So I'd have to watch his butt, but he can't watch my butt. So that's why I said, enough of that. That's why I said, "Amanda, you got to come here. We got to go together. Like, if we
Yeah.
don't go together,
Here in
yeah,
Japan, the reason why people are not open about being into the paranormal is if your work finds out, you can be fired. Unlike
yeah,
the US, where
yeah,
if you don't mention where you work or have any of your work logo on your shirt, HR can't really do anything to you. Here, that's not the case. You can be
Wow.
like, "Nick, I heard that you're out there trying to find ghosts. You can't work here anymore."
yeah.
Hmm.
Even the airline pilot on Japan Airlines, they fly over the kind of like over the North Pole to go to America and come back to Japan. A pilot saw a UFO and he reported it to air traffic controller, and he was called in by the airline company of Japan Airlines, and they made him retire.
Wow.
And
That's
he swore he saw a UFO, and he swears by it even to this day. And they canned him,
Wow. Yeah,
and
I mean,
that's why we don't. That's why more me than her. I can't tell anybody what I do because I'd be locked up in the loony bin.
that's
I
just crazy
I
because
I don't even tell my neighbors. There's only two neighbors that knows what I do. Right, that's about it. The doctors that I see, they don't know except one old man is my neurologist. He knows because he's an old man. I can tell him, right? And older people are a little bit more adjusted, a little bit more understanding than younger people. And younger people will criticize it. They just don't want to. They don't want to recognize it. They know it's haunted, but they don't want to say, "Yeah, it is haunted," and that's a spirit. So they said, "Yeah, we're not going to even go near it. Let's go about face, go right that way. That's what their mind is like. Like if the younger the people, the more analytical they become, the more intelligent they are, the less they'll believe.
Yeah.
So if they can't see it, if they can't touch it, if they can't feel it, they're not going to believe it. And it's harder as it is. It's hard enough as it is being this person like this, right? I was raised as a Catholic too. Okay, I went to church. I did everything, but when you're here, see, Catholics here, priests here are Jesuit priests. Okay, they're off their own order. Okay, um, but when I talked to my friend about it, who's also Catholic, he said you shouldn't be doing that. I said, doing what? Doing what you're doing. I go, why? Because that's not good. Why isn't it good? I mean, God gave me these gifts so I could, we were the chosen one. God gave us these gifts so we could help people, right?
Right.
That's the way that I think of it, right? But they don't believe that. They don't believe that, okay? They don't
Because
believe that.
not everyone believes that the gifts came from God; it came from somewhere
Yeah.
else.
And so he said, no, that's not good. He said, you should ignore it. I can't ignore it. Like, I see this 24/7. But when I get up and when I go to bed, that's how I see things, right? And it's gotten so bad I can't even go outside anymore because if I go outside, Japan, Tokyo's 90% haunted. Okay, if I go outside like this, and I can't even do that, the closest I'll go is the convenience store and come home, and I'll look this way, not that way. I can't do that. It's just too hard for me. And if there's an ambulance going by, I know what's in it. I can see what's in it. I can see if the person's going to die. I can see if the person's got a heart attack. I can see everything. And I don't like it. Sometimes I hate what I have.
Right.
Sometimes I didn't have it. It's almost like a curse to me. But I live with it.
It's an interesting point. So I'll be honest. I'm kind of ignorant as far as the Eastern world and stuff like that. I've delved into a lot of religion, but you said you grew up Catholic.
Hmm.
Well,
So how?
she's from Canada, and then she moved to Tokyo.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
now
Very,
what do you practice now? It's not Catholic,
I
is
practice
it?
Hinduism. I'm a it's like
Shintoism?
yeah. See, this is
Yeah, I was gonna say I knew you practiced one of those because over
this,
here,
uh,
but majority of people are Buddhist, then Shinto.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
what I thought. But
my mother's relatives created this shrine on a mountain. Don't ask me how they got those things up the mountain. Like it's a huge mountain, right? You have to walk the steps all the way up the mountain to get there, and they got these huge beams that made this shrine up the mountain. Like, don't ask how that happened. Like, mm-mm. But apparently, Shinto religion comes from the spirits, the gods in the sky, gods in the sky, meaning aliens in the sky, right? Yeah, and there's a lot of that because um, if you look at my group, Paranormal Japan, it has a picture of the shrine that I belong to. It looks like a
I'll
step
have to
pyramid.
check it out.
It's a step pyramid. It's just different. Okay. And yeah, um, I've been possessed twice. I I I've done everything. I lived in a suicide condo. I've done everything right. It's just crazy here. And on her side, it's more like the sad deaths who died, like the atomic bomb people, the people who died before they're passing the people who were Catholics were also crucified during the Edo era because this basic religion in Japan is Buddhism. You want to be like God, like Jesus Christ, you will die like Jesus Christ. So that's what they did. They crucified them to the cross on a mountain.
Wow.
So, Amanda, you said you're in Nagasaki.
Yeah.
Nagasaki, yeah.
So,
Live in-
what's the energy like around there?
The energy is what I tell people. Her black cat. Does cat see another spirit?
Mhm. He's telling me that yikes, yikes, yikes in the background.
There's a what?
He's saying yikes to me. He's trying to stop me from. He's trying to. He's trying to hide. Like, see, he's hiding. His head is in here.
Her cat also sees
Mind you,
spirits. So
his
usually
eyes
when you
are
see the cat put its head in the head
But
up, it sees a spirit.
Oh, so he's just a spirit with her.
with you.
Oh, with us. Well, something keeps touching me. So.
Well, there's two things that have happened since we've been on this podcast. One that's never happened. Like I said, I have my own podcast that we do every week. Our screen glitched.
Mm-hmm.
And about when you were talking earlier, something went this way.
I watched it come
blocked
behind
out
you.
the backside of the
Yeah.
chair. So,
And I was watching. I was going like this. I was going.
Well, I leaned back, and I don't know if you like. I was listening to you talk, but I don't know if you noticed. Like, I started leaning this way because I'm watching something black wrap around your back, and like it shot around like in between you and the chair, and went back around behind, and then something's been very touchy, but it's not letting me see what it is.
When I come on, they don't like it because they know that I can get rid of it right. So they try to mess with the camera, and you know what? I get kicked out 3 times every time I'm on this podcast. So Amanda knows. She goes,
It's
"Oh,
funny because she'll get kicked out and I'm still talking, and the guest will be like, "You're not concerned." No, she'll be back here in a moment, and then she pops back up like, "I told you." And they're like, "Why are you just talking like it's nothing? You lost." You're not gonna be like, "Oh, let's see what happened." I'm like, "I know what happened. She'll be back on. Don't worry."
yeah." And you notice behind me is all white. Well,
Oh yeah, when you do that, it makes it brighter.
yeah. And if I do this, they come there. See, in Japanese, this means
Yeah, I
to
was
come.
gonna say,
That means to go. This is to come.
bring the ghost.
Yeah, you bring them this way. If I tell you to come, it means to come. If I tell you to go, that means to go. Amanda's side is very different. The energy side is
Energy, I would say, if especially if you can feel energy from the spirits here, I swear is stronger than back in the States.
yeah, and there's a lot of shadow figures too where she is also.
Oh, I've seen more shadow figures here than I ever did in the United States. Ever.
Yeah. It's just hi. Yeah, it's
Aren't
just
you guys
totally.
going to a
Hi, Tim.
convention this weekend?
yes, yeah, we'll be heading to Wisconsin to Broadhead Manor to see our good friend Mr. Bill Walter, and the Spirits of the Spring convention will be there.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I'll actually be. I'm slated to be a speaker on Sunday, but I might drag Nick up on stage for a few minutes with me. So it
Yes.
just depends. And yeah, and then okay, so we've got the boys' group. Okay, so I've got on Friday I have a reading in the afternoon.
Mhm.
Then as soon as that's done, gotta get ready to go to the twins' graduation for high
Oh.
school. As soon as we get home, it's basically we gotta take NyQuil
Oh.
because we gotta be up at like 1 o'clock in the morning because we gotta leave here at 3 a.m. in the morning to be at Broadhead by 9 a.m. for setup because doors open at 10 and
Mhm.
it's gonna go from 10 to 6. And then Sunday is 10 to 5 is when the doors shut. So then we got to pack up, turn around, drive 6 hours home. Then I have to be up at 6 in the morning to make sure everything's loaded and out the door because I want to be. And then I'm driving to New York to spend 5 days, 4 nights at Wildwood Sanitarium.
Oh, nice.
And so I'll be there doing renovations. I'll be running live all day, all night almost. It's almost going to be a 24/7 live across 4 different platforms.
Gosh,
And then also doing remotely paranormal when we're out there.
you need
Yeah, it's an amazing place. And then what we're going to do is Brooke, if you're watching, can you say it in the comments? Is it okay for me to say this like what I had put in our chat? Can you let me know if it's okay to announce it? Because if I can announce it, I'll announce
it. So you can go to bed at night.
it. Well, I want to make sure that yeah, okay. So I don't know if anybody that's watching has seen the post, but Daniel Class, who owns Hensdale,
Mhm.
his 14-year-old daughter has been sorry, it's a mom, so it's hard for me because I can't imagine. I've got a daughter who's 8 and I couldn't imagine, but his daughter's been diagnosed with bone cancer. So one of the days, either Tuesday or Thursday while I'm there and I'm running the lives, any gifts that are given
Mhm.
on TikTok, Facebook,
Mhm.
I will be taking all that money and donating it to the Class family. It's gonna go into it's gonna be from Wildwood.
Mhm.
And yeah, I haven't. Oh, you saw his video. I haven't had a chance to see his video yet, but like I'm trying not to cry. As a mom, it hits you.
Mhm.
But yeah, all the proceeds that from that day, any gifts that are given, that's all gonna be donated to the Class family. So um I'm trying to figure out how we can do a give-a-thon on that day and just have everything go straight to them.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
I saw that.
Okay. I'll tell them. I just heard that she's a strong girl. Um, she's not gonna she's not gonna give in that quickly, and I'm gonna watch over her.
Thank you. Greatly
Uh,
appreciate that.
um, what else do you want me to say? Okay. Okay. Um, we're all gonna pray. We're all gonna say good prayers for her. We're gonna keep her in our hearts and our souls, and she's not ready to go yet, and we're gonna make sure she's not ready to go.
Thank you for letting us know that. Greatly appreciate it.
It's funny, I'm doing this all the time. That's why I said, I got enough work, right? That keeps me busy.
Oh, I can imagine. I know the more I open, the more stuff that's coming in and the more it it's overwhelming. It's
Yeah,
very overwhelming.
what I usually do sometimes, I don't like giving readings. Instead, I help people who had families who's crossed over, and that's what I do. I talk to people on my phone, and they come in, and I call their ancestors or whatever, and they come in. We talk together. We have a three-way.
Oh, that's awesome that you do that.
And I think it's more. It's better for me, and it's better for the people instead of giving them a reading. because the reading can take one way or the other, right? And it's not always comes out true. It's not always comes out right. So instead of doing that's what I do. I console the families who have people who have crossed over and give them their last what they want to say to them, and that's what I usually do. It's a lot more. I don't know. It's a lot more heartwarming than a reading, and I hate giving readings. But I could tell you, you got something wrong with you. You got something wrong with you. Oh, and Nick, you gotta watch out from your tummy. You got a bad tummy.
Irene, the way he said,
What are you doing?
he has that look on his face like he does.
I do.
You gotta be careful about your stomach. Lay off those spicy things because them's not very good for you.
I always come flaming on the other side.
Do you
See,
still have waffles?
you can have waffles, but his relative who's in the house saying, "I want waffles. Where are those waffles?"
That's weird. We don't ever have waffles.
We have a whole box of waffles.
No, we got a whole box of mini pancakes for Ellie when she
No,
gets.
there's a bunch of waffles in the deep freezer.
There's waffles in there?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, somebody said that.
He had hidden waffles.
It's beer. I didn't realize we had. Evidently, we've got waffles in the freezer in the garage. I didn't know that.
I got everything in my kitchen.
Irene overly spends on food.
I know. I got everything in my freezer. Okay, I got a deep freezer. I got everything in my deep freezer.
Don't even get her started on peanut butter.
Oh, peanut butter too. Yummy.
So in America, you go to the store, you get the smaller things of Jif that's like $2-3. She's so obsessed with peanut butter that she buys them, and it costs her $50.
I mean, people have their crutch.
That's why I tell people, if you ever come to Japan, they're like, well, since you guys don't tip, but I want to give out gifts for housekeeping or someone do a good job or, this family friend, what should I bring? It's like peanut butter. I swear they'll think you're balling. Like, ooh, you
Really?
spent a lot of
Peanut
money,
butter.
and it's just like a little jar of freaking peanut butter.
Yeah, I bought a little jar, Jeff. It's $50, and then I had to pay 10% consumption tax on top of it. So you're taxed when you buy something, right? So it's like 10%.
10%?
Yeah.
So you're taxed just to eat. Like, it's not like a sales tax. You're taxed on consumption, which means that consumption that's
Yes,
consuming
we
that's
told Vince because Vince is like, I don't believe this, and I'm like, yeah, she spends a
Yep.
lot of money on peanut butter.
We need to go to Costco
Oreo.
and send them some peanut butter.
For a container of Oreos, she said she spends $40.
Yep. For a bag of
No cookies for you when we go to Japan.
for a bag of Cheetos, I paid what? I paid $40 for a big bag of Cheetos.
That's why everybody in Japan's so skinny. They can't that $40 for snacks.
Yep. And you know what? My husband works at Costco. He doesn't even get a discount. He doesn't
Oh no!
He doesn't even get a discount
On food or on anything in general.
on anything in general.
That's crazy. I used to work for Walmart a while ago, like a long time ago, and you got a discount on merchandise, but not food.
My son worked for Walmart, and he never got a discount either in Japan.
That's crazy. You don't get discounts when you work somewhere here.
No, you don't. No.
Interesting.
Wow, I'm trying to process $40 for Oreos right now. Sorry.
Yeah, it's like
no mega stuff for you.
It's like a box of Oreos, right?
What is that in Japan dollars or US dollars?
Well, I'm just making it even. So $40 is $40.
Okay.
I'm just making sure that it comes out that way. So it's easier to calculate, right? Don't ask how much a house is here.
Well, if peanut butter's $40, I can't even imagine.
The housing's not that bad though. Well, maybe in American dollars. So some people buy houses for like 30 to 40 grand here, American dollars.
Wait, what?
You won't know. Yeah, I was gonna say that's American dollars. One
So I
guy.
can go and buy. I could go and like be big ballin' and like go flip a bunch of houses in Japan, but I can't eat.
Well,
One guy, yeah, because one guy said he's from the United
What?
States, and he bought an investment property in Japan, and he renovated it.
Mhm.
Buying the house plus renovations cost only 40,000 American dollars to him. So he was like, yeah.
The thing is, in Japan, you own the property. The property is 100% yours. You own the land and the house. So you can do whatever you want on your land. You don't need this and that.
He means you don't need permits to remodel or build another building or an extension on your
Wow.
house compared to America.
And
You have to get
if
permits.
you want,
I'm
if
being
you
mind blown right now.
and if you get a phone, you own the line for the phone. That line is yours.
Huh.
You buy the line. If you move, you could take the line wherever you want to in Japan.
That's interesting.
But houses, like where I live, it's about my house was kind of like really expensive, right? Because I live in a really good area. That's why. I mean,
Well,
yeah.
you gotta be a big baller. You're spending $50 on peanut butter. It's
Like mine house is like this much million.
But
And
it's like 32,000 in American.
yeah, and it came empty. But I got a dishwasher. I got a bidet in my toilet. I got two of them. I got
She's got a fancy toilet that squirts.
yeah.
They don't use toilet paper over there. We're like the only country that uses toilet paper.
I want a toilet that's fancy and squirts.
And it's got a heat. It's got a warmer too, so you don't.
Like,
freeze
yeah,
it.
it's nice in the winter.
So you got warm buns.
Yeah.
I want a warm ass.
And it has a bidet, so it squirts warm water into your butt or into your front if you're a lady, if you need that.
I'm being good right now. There's so
Yeah.
much I could say with what she just told me, and I'm being good.
I don't even have water taps on my bathtub because I have a hole in my bathtub and shoots out warm. It fills up the bathtub water that way.
It's automatic, so you don't have to turn it off. Like, you tell it where you want it to stop, and that's what hers does. You tell it where to stop, and it fills up, gets to that point, and it stops.
You want me to go downstairs and I'll show you?
I mean, so that's why it's nice. So if you're tired and you just want to, you get in, if you accidentally fall asleep, you don't have to worry because
Yeah.
your tub is not going to overflow.
Yeah. And see, it's 10:43. My water that goes around is 47 degrees centigrade. I can turn on I can heat up the water or turn on the water in the bathtub. I can warm up the water in the bathtub and I'll turn on the 43 degrees centigrade in the water in the bathtub. That's upstairs.
Basically, if you walked away and the water cooled down, you can go back and rewarm the water without filling it back up.
Yeah. I'm coming downstairs. I'm going to show you my.
Brie just wants to see the fancy toilet.
I'll show
I want to see a toilet that squirts.
my toilet that squirts. How
How
strong
often do you get to say you have a toilet that squirts?
You see this? You wash your bum, you wash your front. The strength of the water. This seat is warm. I'll show you something else.
so enthralled with your home right now.
LED lights. This is where all the cables are. So the telephone cable, the cable for the TV is all up here in the ceiling.
Oh, wow.
Yep. This is where you wash. I got purple water, okay? This is where the water comes out. So I got no taps here, right? There's no faucets to go in the bathtub. This is where the hot water comes out. And it keeps the water warm for 8 hours a day. It's got 16 liters of water right now. Oh, sorry, 18 liters of water in the tub.
Amanda is eternally laughing her asses off at us right now because we are so enthralled with
No, it's
this.
not the first time because a lot of people are just amazed by her bathroom.
But she's got purple water and a toilet that squirts.
And wait a second, I'll turn this
I
off.
just like the fact I can say squirt right now and it's not in a dirty context.
The tub is something new.
This is where you can hang up your laundry here. It'll dry your clothes out here. And there's a dryer.
Interesting. I mean, I see a lot of fancy stuff at work.
Okay, well, I don't.
Now the bathtub thing's a little different.
I mean, the fancier thing I get to see during is the spirits. That's my fancy.
And outside here is where we don't have a hot water tank. Everything's gas, right? So the outlet is outside this window. So, yeah.
Wow.
I would say that this is the first podcast I've ever been on where somebody toured a bathroom for me.
Oh, and my sink is made by Panasonic, right? Yeah.
Don't they make TVs? Her sink is made by Panasonic.
Yep.
Do you? I'm gonna. Okay, my
That's
blonde.
not a big deal there.
But I'm having my American blonde moment. Do you watch TV as you wash your hands? Like,
You put a TV in the bathroom. Or put a TV in the bathroom.
that's really cool, though. I'm gonna have to keep that in mind. Thank you.
And I got my
I might want one
dishwasher's
so like
also-
I can like have like a bath and I can watch like.
Yep. You can sit in the tub and bring your cell phone and watch TV.
Or be on a podcast.
I would have a lot. I would have to have a lot of bubbles for that, though.
We don't put soapy bubbles in our bathtub because gas is really expensive here. So everyone warms up in the tub and gets out. And you don't wash in the bathtub. You wash outside.
Interesting.
What?
Yeah. Because we have
So
to.
no shower
You can take a shower outside. Yeah.
outside. Oh, okay.
But yeah, like Amanda will tell you, Japan has no natural resources, right? So we buy everything. So gas for your car, gas for the making food, yeah, everything's bought. So we treasure everything.
That's interesting.
Yep.
Well, I learned something new today.
But you know what?
That's really cool, though. I didn't know that.
You could live very easily in Japan.
I appreciate you showing us. Like, I'm not gonna. I mean, not that I'm proud to be an ignorant American, but I'm an ignorant American. You don't.
That's why
It's not like we know that here.
That's why I said you come visit me. You could spend all day in the bathtub and just soak.
Oh, I would so be in that bathtub reading a book with candles, and yeah.
Yeah.
Hot water. I would so be in that bathtub all day. I'd be like,
Yep.
I know we're wasting water, but because I mean I'm yeah. I'd be a prune. I'd be rotating, making sure the wrinkles are even. Be like Shamu rolling around. You swear.
And I'll take you to the hot springs too. Amanda has a lot of hot springs where she is.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Wow.
Put it on the list.
We're getting a really big list now. It's just getting bigger. I love it. I love our list.
We'll have fun. Don't worry.
So what would happen if, let's say, we come to Japan? We're like, we're paranormal investigators. We do this and this and this. We're gonna come investigate Japan. Like, how would society? Would they like lock us up, tell us to go back to America?
Or
No,
would they not
because
let us
I'm
in
with
here?
you. I'll be with you when we do this.
They would just think you're crazy.
Well, we are. We are crazy.
Yeah, well, that's our middle
I'll
name,
be the
right?
American breaking every taboo that there is. I mean, I do that as it is.
We are that way. We're just absolutely. We're far from being normal. Okay, I'm out there. And you know what?
Irene and I are gonna be like, oh my god, you see the person walking right there, and
Yep.
she's gonna have squirrels with me, and
Why
they're gonna,
said you two are related.
and there's gonna be a disco ball. They're gonna be raving.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say the rest of my jokes since that got used against me
She
now.
spends too much at the store, just like you do.
But you eat it all. So what are you complaining about?
I'll cook for you too.
Oh, I get a break.
You get a break. You don't have to.
For special holidays, Irene will start like 3 days. 3 days before.
Wow.
For New
Like I know
Year's.
you did New Year's. It's like 2-3 days before you started prepping everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we eat all day from New Year's Day till New Year's the next day.
We better bring our stretchy pants.
And I'll take you ghost hunting too. Matt is gonna come with us too, right?
Right.
We're gonna all go ghost hunting, and we're gonna all flop at my house. We're gonna go to a hotel and flop in the mountains, and we're gonna have a lot of fun.
Deal.
I'm down.
Oh, I think my husband still knows of a place that you can buy crystals in the mountains. I think so. You can buy raw crystals too in
You
the
said
mountains.
still. So does that mean that you're not allowed to buy crystals, or you're like they're hard to come by, or
They're harder to
no.
come by here. There's no metaphysical stores here. I miss those.
So do you have to buy everything online then? And
No.
Well, yeah, I do. Irene's in Tokyo, so it's different for her.
See, I just bought this.
Clear quartz?
Yeah. I only spent what? $5. I got a whole bag.
Oh wow.
You see, because my husband was in the jewelry business, we get to go to these conventions. Okay, we went to one a couple days ago. It was a rock convention, so I got a whole bunch of geodes. I got a whole bunch of stones. I got a whole bunch of protection stones, and you buy them really cheap.
She also makes protection jewelry, and she can get it cheaper there, and different colors like tiger eye. What different color tiger eye were you able to get there?
Blue, brown, I think, I don't know, gray, black. I got cat's eye too, you know.
That would be amazing.
Gray one would be cool.
You want to see what I'm making?
A gray tiger eye.
You know what I'm making? I'm making this. This is jade.
Oh, pretty.
This is ruby light. Here. This is obsidian. I'm making that.
See,
If
I
you
found
want,
out with the Holy Fire Reiki that my spirit animal is a dragon,
mm-hmm,
and she was telling me that I need to have like garnet and ruby, like the
I
red.
could get. I could make you something.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah, 'cause I'm like, I keep looking for stuff. Like every time, like we go to like cons, like he'll tell you, like I keep looking for like, uh, um, I'm still learning all this, but like I want to find. I see like the carved like dragons, and I keep looking for a red dragon whenever we
Mm-hmm.
go.
I got.
Yeah, I can't find one.
I got all. I can. I can get your dragon too. I got. Wait. I gotta find it. Where is it? It's a black. It's a black obsidian with a dragon on it. I got those too.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I get all kinds of crazy stuff, right? My husband said, "Do you buy enough?" I said, "Nope, I need more."
Need more.
And it comes out of his pocket, not mine. And I said, "I need more stones." He goes, "You do?" I go, "Yeah, get me more stones." He goes, "Okay." I got tons of stones, all right? They're all in.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I do. I make stuff. I have to make sure I'm in a good energy before I make it because I put my intentions in it. And I make sure that everyone has good intentions when I buy something and I make it. You need cat's eye too. Cat's eye helps prevent evil from coming after you.
Oh, somebody else said that to me. Yeah, that I needed a cat's eye. I needed to wear it like on a necklace.
Hmm. I could make you one of those.
All right,
You,
thank you.
you need a Marion stone too.
What is that?
A Marion stone. Marion.
And what does
If
that do?
if you're an
Or what
empath,
is it for?
if you're a clairvoyant, it helps all negative energy to leave to not come by you, not come near you.
Oh, okay.
Um, I learned that on TikTok from a Japanese um potter who is also a clairvoyant. Also, he said anyone who is a clairvoyant needs a Marion stone. So my
Okay.
one of these. It's like smoky quartz, but it's darker than smoky quartz, right? It's almost black.
Right.
Yeah. So you need one of
I need
those.
to write that down because I've heard that stone referenced recently, and I'm trying to remember where I heard it.
Yeah. And this one comes from Tibet.
Oh wow.
Yeah. They can range from $30 to $130. So you gotta, you know,
Excuse me.
yeah, you gotta make sure that you get the right price for it because you don't want to spend any more than $30.
Hey, look, it's Dad.
Hey, Dad. Sean's on.
Yo. Yeah. You need a Marion stone. You can use it. You can get a big one. You can get a small one. Okay. If you can't find one, get a hold of me. I could probably get one for you.
All right. Yeah. Thank you so much.
I mean, Asia, right? It's you get a lot of stuff here. It's just
Just
the
no
way,
ghosts.
it's just the way it goes. Like they dig them out of the ground in this country. In this country, they dig um like crystals out of this country, out of Japan. They can dig crystals out of Japan, but you can get crystals all over the place, really cheap.
Yeah. See, that's one thing I'm trying to learn is I'm trying to learn like the crystals and like the like what their would you say meaning like what they
Hmm.
do like I don't I'm still learning all this. I feel very ignorant evidently is the word for me tonight.
Obsidian, you would need a crystal. You would need a clear crystal. It's better if it's raw, cut. Um, you would need cat's eye to prevent any bad energy from coming near you because you're clairvoyant. Um, I think Tiger Eye also is a protection stone, so it doesn't matter if it's brown or any color. You need that too. Um, I use jade because jade is also protection against evil. So
Okay.
that's what I have a whole bunch of jade. Um, let's see what else. Oh, ruby light is good too. It's also protection stone. Um, stuff like that, and pink quartz also you could use.
Okay.
So I think you can get those, but if you can't get anything that's really weird, give me a holler on Messenger, and I'll whip some I'll whip something up.
We'll get her started. She will go to different prefectures and climb mountains to find stuff.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I go to all over the place. I went to Hiroshima and I got a whole kinds of stuff. And I even bargained. I said to this guy, "Give this to me." He goes, "I'll sell it to you for 50." Nah, give it for me for 40. He goes, 40. You go, yeah, $40. So he goes, okay, okay.
Oh wow.
I'm horrible. Okay, my husband says, "You gonna really do that?" And I said, "Shut up." He goes, "All right." I won't say anything. Got a whole bunch of stuff. I go everywhere. I'm going to the temple the end of this month, the end of next month, when Amanda goes on vacation. I'm going on vacation too, so I can get some. I can get some more crystals, like rock crystals. Rock crystals are better than cut crystals. They're more protective
Okay.
because they're stronger, right?
Okay.
So, I, if you want me to, I could get some rock crystals for you.
All right. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
I already just send you some rocks.
She can send me some rocks. I can be blinging out with some rocks.
You can have
I'll be
bling all over the place.
Just don't smoke them.
We don't talk about smoking anything here.
Oh shit, my bad. Broke the rules. Sorry.
That's a no-no in Japan. We don't smoke.
Getting yelled at.
You get caught with marijuana, you're in big trouble in Japan.
Man,
See, I'm not the one getting yelled at this time. That's all you, babe.
I know.
Normally, I'm the one getting in trouble.
I know.
Nah, she's good. We're we're all sisters here. We're good. I'm terrible. Okay, I'm done. Oh, it's gonna be a long morning, Amanda. Oh shit. I haven't had lunch. I think that's why it's going crazy. Oh well, we're good.
Usually you're snacking during the podcast.
I know. I had my popcorn, okay? What is your bucket list to go to? Both of you. You can be both of you together. You can be apart from each other. Which one?
Well, my bucket list is impossible to do.
His is amazing.
Mine, I want to investigate the Vatican.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, obviously, that's never going to happen. So
No way they would ever let, because they have
Yeah.
secrets they will keep forever.
Oh,
I'll be satisfied when I get there, walking around St. Petersburg, or just inside the church. I'm going to bring a recorder with me somehow, and just
He's going to be doing EVP burst.
You know they have the places where these people who are preserved, and they're in a casket, but it's glass casket. I want to see them. I want to see what I can hear from them. I want to see if they can feel voices. I want to hear what they have messages for me. That's what I want to hear.
I also would like to do like Jerusalem or somewhere like that.
Petra.
Mm-hmm.
The only problem is, obviously, I speak English.
Mm-hmm.
Odds are going to get something in a different language.
Mm-hmm.
But the other difficult part about that is, depending on the spirit or this or that, even the dialect of that, language has changed so much throughout history.
Yeah.
Still might not be able to understand what they're saying, but just to get a response
Mm-hmm.
would be fascinating to me.
But you know what? That country, that place has been so conflict with religious conflict. It's really hard to even fathom going there and being safe. You know that?
Yeah.
Like, I want to go to Egypt too, but the way that's been fighting, like, I'll just watch it from my, from my phone. Where else do you want to go?
Where's your bucket?
Well, Petra. Remember we talked about, because Petra just disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, especially with the, if you go with biblical prophecy, a
Mm-hmm.
lot of Christians, they leave bottled water and Bibles and, survival necessities within the church that's built into the cliffside there.
Yeah.
So I would love to investigate Petra just to see if you can, to see if, because one thing I love about the paranormal is connecting the dots with history.
Yeah.
We're able to get validation on legends and myths and rumors. And I think that there's so much validity to that, if it's done the right way and you're not running around like a chicken with your head cut off and trying to get 50 more llamas.
Yeah.
But had to. So but I would love to do Petra. I'd also love to go to the what's that island? The island of death from the Black Plague with the doctor's mount.
Oh,
Provolia, or I can't remember how to pronounce it, but like I know a
I know
couple
you're talking
shows
about.
have
That's
been able
supposed
to
to be
get
really haunted.
yeah.
yeah, I would love to go there. And then finding out that I've got Irish and Scottish ancestry,
Mm-hmm.
I would love to go. Like that's on our bucket list, is going to Ireland and Scotland.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in England too, because it's all together.
I got a lot of friends in England.
I'm Italian as well, so anything Italy.
Yeah.
Isn't there? Remember, she's really famous. She was a nurse. Oh no, she was a nun, right? I forgot her name. I remember her last name starts with a B. Okay, she drank this water from this fountain, and she lived till she was 36 years old. Her body is entombed. You could see her, and you could drink from this fountain too. It's supposed to help you if you get sick, right?
Mm-hmm.
Italy. I want to see that one too. I think that one's really cool.
What is that in Lourdes? I know there's something big with Lourdes. I want to go to Lourdes.
Yeah, I think that one's a really cool place to go to. We got to go to Italy. Right.
Oh wait, no, that's not even
My
Italy.
bucket list.
Yeah.
Lourdes is in France.
Yeah, there's a couple places in France I want to go to. Like I know everybody says like the catacombs, but like I want to go to like the out of the way countryside where people don't think to go. Like I lived in Germany for a couple years, and everybody focuses on, all the big cities where they've got the palaces and the castles, and it's like there's all these little in between places. Like where I lived at, my American accent, I always jack it up, but it's Würzburg, and we were in a tri-base area. My first ex-husband, he was stationed there with the army.
Mm-hmm.
And so in our trade base area, we had Würzburg that we were at. There was Kitzingen and then Giebelstadt. And at Kitzingen, if you actually walked through the town, there is supposedly one of Dracula's supposed tombs where he's buried.
Ooh,
And
cool.
with the tomb, it was actually ornately carved that dated back to like the 15 and 1600s. Like it kept getting replaced through the years. And when we were first went over in October, we went and saw it. And then we went back like 3 or 4 months later, and they had removed all the wooden carvings because people were going in and like breaking pieces off as souvenirs. but there's this tower right outside the gate of this beautiful cemetery. And it actually, like, if you look up at it, you can see the tower's leaning, and it's got a ball like at the top of like a metal point. And local legend says that it's Dracula's heart that's in this ball. And when the tower finally topples and the ball hits the ground, it's supposed to crack open and roll to Dracula and release his heart, and then he will be raised from the dead. So, like, there's it, and it's an out of the way. It's not Kitzigan's not like, I mean,
Yeah.
once you get in it, it's bustling, but
Mhm.
it's not like your Frankfurt. It's not like Würzburg. It's, it's not like
Yeah.
Cologne. It's not like the other big places.
Yeah.
And it's like it's those little out of the way little towns that are walled in.
Mhm.
People just drive by that
They
you
don't
don't
think
think of
anything of it.
going to, that have these amazing legends, and they get overlooked. And it's like every legend starts with a bit of truth, and it's like if you bunny trail back through it, you're going to find
Yeah.
the truth. And if you move forward, you're going to be able to see where truth meets fiction
Yeah.
and unravel, the telephone game that's been played with it. It would take a while to do it, but I think stuff like that, if you were dedicated enough, I think we would be able to find some truth with Dracula. And, a lot of people say it goes back, to the castle in Romania, with Vlad
Yeah.
the Impaler,
Mhm.
or Impaler, not Impaler, Impaler.
In Palmer? Vlad the
You're
Impaler.
making
Yeah,
fun of you.
Vlad the Embalmer. But no, it's Vlad the Impaler. And like there's all these different versions of
Mhm.
the Draculas and the werewolves and the vampires, and where
Mhm.
do they really have their origins. And
Mhm.
people can keep focusing on the catacombs and all those other bigger places in Paris. And I mean, are there places I want to go see? Yeah, I want to go see because I think they'd be fun to go see,
Yeah.
historically. But I want to go see the out of the way places in the
You
countryside
know,
of France
that's what
and
I.
in
That's what.
Germany and
That's
Italy.
what.
And
That's what I like too. Like in Japan, I want to take Amanda to these places that are not known by everyone else. Yeah, we can go to Suicide Forest. Yeah, we can go there. We can go there. But there are other places other than that's really haunted. That's not noted in any book in any book that anybody around the world knows. There's just so many different places. There's so many different summarized um um crypts and the places where they to rest, and some that have just their heads in it, and some that have maybe parts of their bodies in it. Like there's so many interesting places that are haunted that nobody knows of, right? That I'd like. That's why I want to take Amanda to these places that she doesn't know, right? And she's never heard of it. That's why I just told her about the suicide waterfall and places like that. She didn't know, and I want to take her to there because since she's an American, how would they, like what she said? How would they react to me since Japan lost the war and people who killed themselves jumping off the waterfall because they didn't want to be ruled by America. But how would they feel now since Japan is open and she can live in Japan now? And how would they react to her so differently? So that's
Right,
what she
right.
wants to do. That's what she
But I
wants
told
to.
her I'm not climbing up that mountain because I feel like someone's gonna try and push me off.
But that.
yeah,
They got no
I was like, I'm
handrail.
not climbing. I'll go with you. I want to see how they react, but I'm not climbing it. I'm afraid someone's gonna
No,
push me off.
there's a bridge that goes across the waterfall, okay? But that waterfall they got nets all the way up because people still would find a way to jump off that waterfall to kill themselves, right?
wow.
So you can walk across. It's a big huge bridge. But I mean, if you stand in the middle, you can stand in the middle. You can do whatever you want. You can take pictures and do whatever you want. Nobody's gonna bother you unless you act like me, saying, "What are you doing here?" You're like, I'll be talking out loud, and they'll think you're weird. Okay, no problem. They won't say anything to me because, I'm just different. Okay, I can do whatever I want. You don't like, you can stuff it in your buns, right? But yeah, I mean, I that's the thing. You can take pictures. You can do whatever you want. you could. I don't think you could put a meter there because it'll fall off the bridge, right? But I mean, you can actually take live pictures, and when you look at it, you may not see something, but in a still picture, you blow it up. It's haunted. You can see it jumping off the waterfall.
Wow.
That's just insane. That's just
And I think it's more residual energy.
right.
Right.
But yeah, you can see the older people jumping off the waterfall. And you can see, one time I saw on the rock, an old man and an old woman jumping. I thought, wow, like, kids go there for the group photographs they take in front of the waterfall, and my son says, teacher, you gotta do this. He goes, yeah. My kid knows, he can see it too. Like all my kids can see stuff, right? And he said, he was making this really weird face. I said, why you make this really weird face? Because look behind you. I said, look behind me. I said, oh yeah, I can see that. And she goes, now you know why? I go, yeah. And he said, I can feel somebody touching my back of my neck. And he goes, yeah, I don't like this. I don't want this. But yeah, I mean, there's lots of places here that are kind of like out of the way, but they're all in the mountains, right? That's why I want to take.
Definitely have to come to Japan at
Yeah.
some point.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
I mean,
You'll be a fun time to hang out with.
yeah, and I'll pick you up at the airport because the airport's right here. this way.
A lot of places
It's in your ceiling?
No, that way. That way. He's being sarcastic.
a lot of places in Japan are word of mouth just because they
Yep.
don't keep records. There's no vital records, nothing like that here. So
And Amanda wanted to find out some information from whatever urban legend or whatever, like the cryptids. She can't find it on her Google, but I have to go through my Google and do it. It's just different. And my TikTok is different too, because my TikTok has more Japanese investigating places that are haunted than her TikTok.
Interesting.
It's just different, right? So I have to help her. If we want to do something about cryptids, I have to help her and get the information from my Google than hers.
yeah, but we're also saying you cannot go to like the library or vital records to find information on a location. It's not. We don't have that here.
No, and I lived in a suicide condo. Okay, 18 people jumped to their deaths. Okay, I couldn't find a darn thing about that land. I couldn't find anything, and I just wanted to know.
Right.
I couldn't find
Wow.
anything about it, and we tried contacting the real estate agent. Right? They don't know anything. It's just that they probably know, they don't tell, right?
Probably.
And it's not the law here that if it's haunted, you have to say. You don't have to,
Well,
because we sold our condo really cheap.
as much history as there.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can't go anywhere. I mean, there's just spirits everywhere. So
It is, my husband got hit by a car when he was coming home from work. I found out who it was and I got rid of it. Yeah, it was really bad. Like, he just lurked. And before, another person got hit by a car on a bicycle and he perished, right? He died. But yeah, it's just right outside my door.
Oh my God.
wow.
And he was killed by another person, and he was buried. That whole place was a farmland. He was killed, murdered, and his body was left to rot. I know exactly where his body was. Right, it's right in that area. I knew it, but he was pacing in front of the lights, the street lights. He was pacing back and forth. And I found him. And he went like this to me. I said, "Yeah, you're not gonna get me." I said to him, and it just the hair on your arm just went like this every time you saw him. But he come out every once in a while and cause a car accident.
Jeez.
Wow.
You know,
All
you,
right,
you
ladies.
you know, it's just some of the stuff on this side is really creepy.
Mhm.
And like my daughter, she went to school. She has there's only one train stop that comes where she goes to school and comes home. She couldn't come home 90% of the time because some guy kept on jumping in front of the train and killing themselves, right? I bet you that train station haunted too, you know that?
Oh,
Most places in Japan are haunted.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
The train stations are really bad. And so she said, "Mom, I can't come home." I go, "Can I stay at my friend's house?" I said, "Sure." Like she just wanted to come home, have a hot meal, take a bath, and go to bed after school. That's all she wanted to do. And she couldn't even do that. It's
Oh
just,
man.
it's a normal thing here. On this side, you got the suicide stuff. On her side, you got the sad stuff, right?
Mhm.
It's just there's a fine line between the two. But we live here. We know it's haunted.
Now, I'm curious, Amanda, do you experience a lot yourself? Like,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does too. We both experience a lot, and we talk about it too because
Yeah.
we got it with anybody else, right? It's just different. It's
yeah.
just different. And the suicide victims you don't talk to, right? You're not supposed to do anything with them. You don't talk to them because they can be jealous, they can be angry, they can be really pissed off, and they can try to take you with them. So you have to be very careful what you talk to here, as far as spirit wise.
Yeah, I can
Huh.
see that for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
But an innocent spirit, you can talk to them.
Yeah.
It's just you have to pick and choose very carefully.
All right.
I think they're also less shy here because it's like you'll see a shadow figure. It's like, yeah, what are you? I'm here. What are you gonna do about it?
Yeah.
That is true.
What do you got to say? I'm here. Ha ha ha! I can see you, and like they're like that. It's just yeah. I'll say yeah. So what? You have to become like a. It's you can't have to become like more stronger inside or really cheeky, because if you're not cheeky, they'll try to come after you, right?
That's a new one. Cheeky.
Yeah.
I've heard of cheeky.
I'm cheeky.
Sorry, my friends are.
Not like
I
Oh,
I got a lot of friends from England, so
I was
yeah,
gonna say that's a
Okay.
British, like that's like an English term. Cheeky.
yeah. I have a lot of friends from England. That's why we
Yeah, no,
we
that's totally like an English term.
yeah. Amanda, it's almost 2 hours.
Okay. You gotta go.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We're gonna end this. Hopefully, one day they will come back and join us again. We had a blast. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, no problem.
No.
We had fun.
Hopefully,
Gathered
another
a
time
blast.
we can teach you more about Japan or more of the bathrooms or the kitchens of Japan.
Let's
It
go to
was
the.
education.
We'll go to the kitchen on the next one.
Okay.
We'll go from there.
Oh,
We
most
went
people
from
here in
ghosts to
Japan,
talking about the days. Toilets that squirt. You gotta love it.
yeah, most people here in Japan, minus Irene. Irene is not normal with her oven.
Yeah.
Majority of people in Japan do not own ovens.
Wait, what?
Yeah, they don't own ovens. They'll have like a 2 or 3 burner stove and a rice cooker, and that's pretty much it. And then
I
the
don't
ones that
think oven.
do have an oven, they're a lot smaller than American. Think of like a 410 muffin pan.
Mhm.
That's how big they are. That's all you can fit in those stupid things.
How about the size of what I had in Germany then? Those things were stupid small.
Yeah, I always tell people it's like my basically adult version of an easy bake oven.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I would joke. That's what I called mine when I lived in Germany. I was like, I've
It's
got
so
the
small.
adult version of an easy bake oven. This sucks.
People
I
ask me
can
why
put
I
a
don't
turkey
make
in my oven.
casseroles. I'm like, in what? My easy bake oven? Nothing fits in there.
Oh yeah, I made Christmas dinner and had to use 2 of my neighbors' ovens on top of ours to try to get
Yeah, because they're that
everything.
small.
And it
My
was
my oven's bigger than that.
Because you
I
got a
can.
special order.
I
That's why I said
know.
Irene's not normal.
she's got the bougie stove in
She
Japan.
does. She has the bougie stove that's big. And I'm like, Irene, you know for a fact most people in Japan do not have that size oven.
I know.
So she's like, I
That's why
need
I
it.
give them.
She needs it for all the cooking she does, though.
And I bake good cookies. You know, I bake cookies and send it to you too. You know that.
Yeah, you
Never
can't
turned
make
out
them in those
cookies.
easy bake ovens.
See, she'll send me rocks and you've got the cookies.
Yeah.
Deal.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will
See
see
you
you
after the
next
show.
time. Thank
Well,
you.
thank you.
Goodbye.